A very good morning to everyone. This is Tarun, and today we are going to see about customized internet kiosk solution. So we are going to talk about Meilix, what it is, and what's its needs. So what I'm going to tell you is Meilix is a derivative of Debian. So we are going to look forward that why we required Meilix and what's need behind it. We have lots of derivatives of Debian, but what's make Meilix different from other? So this is Tarun. My email address is meets to Tarun. You can reach out to me at this particular address. And I am present everywhere with at meets to Tarun handle. So Meilix is a word from Chinese. And if you break into two parts, so Meli means beautiful and Alice means loving it extremely. So it's a beautiful OS which we love. So this is a screen and we have it like that of a Ubuntu. When we install, we get several options. Like if you wanted to try Meilix live booting, or you wanted to install it, or you want to do some other things. We have also function keys, which can be used for different purpose. So Meilix is a requirement because it is based on different use cases. Let's suppose taking a use case of a conference. So we are in a conference right now, and in a conference, there are different requirements of an operating system. Like we have to be on a lightweight operating system so we can operate the slides easily. We don't want any notification to pop up in between. We don't want our system to sleep while we stay on a slide for a particular interval of time. So these are certain requirements in a conference. We have also requirements for workshops. So suppose in a workshop, there is a bulk of computers like that of 100, and we wanted to configure all those 100 computers with a single configuration. So how a person do? It goes to one each computer and configure every computer with a single configuration. So he has to configure all 100 computers. But with the help of Meilix, we just need to configure a single ISO, build it, and deploy it in all the 100 computers in a single time. So it's a user case operating system. And Meilix stands on the shoulder of giants. So Meilix is a derivative of Debian. So we are saying Debian is the one with the help of which Meilix is derived, and it's standing on the shoulder of giants. Meilix is a small, very lightweight, and has feasible objectives. So if you are a person and you want Meilix to be of certain types, you can build it according to your personal requirements. So it will not have those packages which you don't want in your operating system. Meilix, Agile, UDD, and CI. So it's a user-driven development project. So it depends upon the use case. So it's derived by the user. So it's only of the requirements of the users that Meilix come from. So this is now we are going to come to the actual development part and what it is. To looking forward, we can see on the left, there is a web form which is built with Flask and deployed on Heroku. So we have certain fields. First field is enter your email address, where you can enter your email address. The second field is an event name. So Meilix is generally made for different sorts of event. So what you can do, like conference event, like workshop events. So basically, event name is the event in which you wanted to use your operating system. For the time being, we can consider it DebConf 19. Enter link. So that link will be the default link of the particular browser. So DebConf 19 can be the default link, and a wallpaper. So that particular image will be uploaded here, and that will be set as a default wallpaper in the desktop. So if we click on the build button, we will get a link of the ISO to that particular address within 10 minutes. And if we run that particular ISO in a virtual machine, we will be able to see that. So that's the wallpaper that we uploaded. And it's based on LXQT desktop for the time being. And we can configure rest of the, so this is the beta one, which has very little customization. So as we move further, we come across, this is the one of the version, which has almost lots of configuration. So starting with the email address, that's similar to previous one. Name of your distribution. So we remove the event name with the name of the distribution, and that's the browser homepage, which you want to set as the browser homepage, a browser search engine. And so some of the systems have 32 bits of support, but now we come across lots of system need 64-bit. So there is a toggle button from which you can toggle whether you want to be in 32 or 64-bit. And there are some packages like notification, screensaver. So it's like those configuration which you wanted to be in your system. Second, third-party software. So if a person wanted it for your own particular use case, they can select what are the different packages that they want. Next is a logo, then wallpaper. So you can upload a SVG image there. You can upload an image which will set as a default wallpaper, and there is a desktop file. So whatever will you upload will go as a desktop file in the operating system. You just need to click on the build button, wait a while, and the ISO link will be sent to your email address. So that's the front-end part, and now we are going to look into the backend part. So how the backend works. So our web app is made on Flask. It is deployed on Heroku platform. It takes some variables as input, like for the time being, we have 3 inputs here: wallpaper, event name, homepage URL. Those inputs get stored into the parameters of Travis. And as soon as we click on the build button, Travis CI triggers, which takes all those input and with the help of API, and that release an ISO. The ISO get released as a GitHub release, and GitHub release gives us a link. And that link is sent by the help of SendGrid API to the consecutive email addresses. Okay, so this is the work process which we go through while working for Meilix. We have guidelines and continuation integration build. So we follow the guidelines and abide by the rules. And we also try to do all the continuation integration checks where with all the pull requests related to issues. So we try to know whether our builds are failing or it's going all proper. Document as you code. So second thing, we came across lots of issue in between. Like one of the major issue is like how will you able to trigger Travis? So this is the thing. So we able to make the changes with the help of an API using Travis API. One of the changes that we came across, like if you wanted to make certain changes in an operating system, you can do it with the help of going into the operating system, changing the particular area of code. But if I wanted to make that changes through a web form, because it's for the use case and people don't know about how to code, how to go into the code and what does it mean. So we wanted to change those parameters with the help of a web form. So the issue we face, like how can we make changes into the operating system files with the help of a web form. So it's like document as we are coding. It's not like just code and forget to document. The last 3 code walks. So we came across like it contains bulks of files in the code of Meilix. So to understand each file, that what it is doing, what are the requirements, there are different meta packages. So there is a consecutive discussion that how those files are, what are the meaning of the lines in the code. So there are 2 ways to customize an operating system. So you can customize an operating system by installing it, and there is another way to have a ISO build, just unpack it using squashfs and make the required changes and then pack it back. So we try to do both of these. Now, for the time being, Meilix is using first of the way, which is we are not making an ISO, but we are making changes and then building an ISO. Okay, so Meilix has lots of extensions. One of which is Meilix system log. So this has a use case like in our laboratories, in our computer labs, we see that we have a system, and some of the students come, they make dirtiness in the home environment of the system, and then they go. So the person who is managing the lab has to go to each particular system and washes all the things which are useless, and taking care of all the files which are of use. So this is the way that the lab person do. But if we come across Meilix system log, so person has to just activate this Meilix system log before the students come for the class, and then student use the system to make it dirty. And what this person has to do is to just reboot the system. So at the point when the person has just activated the Meilix system log, the home directory get freeze to that point, and when the person boots the system, the lab instructor, then it get restored to that particular freeze point. So this is the way he just need to restart the system. The second is the mu package manager. So we have lots of people working on Mac, working on Yum, some working on apt, some working on Pacman. So if a person is not familiar with the other package manager, he just need to enter the his own way. Like he has to install some package using some Fedora. He's a Fedora user, so he will do yum install package 1. So our mu will automatically translate that into apt install package 1, and the person able to install that particular package. So there are few links. So this project developed under FOSSASIA umbrella. And Meilix is the first link where the system, all the code files of the operating systems are there. Meilix-Generator is the link of the web form, where the web form is codes are there, and how they are using Meilix repository to build the operating system. The Meilix system log, which is the add-on, and this is the chat channel of Meilix. So that's all from Meilix, and thank you.